Hey, Camden and Reed, how's it going? Um, Starting off with the first question, during diligence, Cal discovered the financials were significantly different than initially reported. I found this was like a really interesting situation, and I didn't realize that accounting on a cash versus accrual basis could cause such huge discrepancies in EBITDA. So that was super fascinating, honestly. Um, he handled this challenge by pivoting, at least from what I understood, by pivoting investors. So that's when he decided to work with the PE investors and to get the deal done as a merger of sorts, which I felt was just super innovative and super unique. And not something that many people would have thought about or done, but it helped to push the deal forward. I think the key takeaways for dealing with unexpected issues is to think outside the box. Like, there's no one size fits all solution. It's just not how ETA works, and it obviously was not how this worked in this situation. So just think creatively. Like, look to others to try and understand what, if there's any other ideas that they have. And in the long run, I think that's what helped this deal go through. Moving on to the next question, saying beyond the numbers and legal documents, managing the seller emotions and investor confidence, I found it really impressive that Kyle built trust by essentially just running the process. Like, he took full control of the process. He was his own agent. He didn't allow anyone else to really he didn't allow anyone else to take the process without, like he wanted full control of the process, essentially, is what it was. He wanted full control. And it says that he took some very specific actions to prevent deal fatigue. He basically was just like always thinking one step ahead, trying to understand what everyone needed, what everyone wanted, and doing that so that they would, feel great about this acquisition. The next question, Kyle faced multiple points where the deal could have fallen apart. Obviously, I think when the financials came in, that tested his persistence a lot. And he pushed forward by, like I mentioned, pivoting to new investors. I think there's a decent difference between searchers who close and searchers who don't, like the tire kickers. It's obviously just having that motivation, and I think knowing that not everything's going to be perfect. I think at any given time within a search, you're going to feel uncomfortable. Even with a good business, you're going to feel uncomfortable with the prospect of doing something new. At least I know that I would, and I know that going forward, I likely will feel that tinge, that little bit of being uncomfortable. But I think searchers who close are able to push past that and really understand that it's not, what are, like we talked about previously, what are the deal killers, and what isn't, like what just makes you uncomfortable, like what can you mitigate and what's a deal killer, and I think they really understand that well. Kyle describing closing the deal as finishing a marathon. I feel like, and I've always felt this way, I'm a little bit more intimidated by the operating prospect of ETA than like the search and due diligence. Like, I feel somewhat comfortable with that, and I feel like, I've learned a lot about it. I've kind of seen it in practice at work, and that part has never really intimidated me, but the operations definitely intimidates me. And I think that's kind of what Kyle was saying when he says that, it's an Iron Man after you close the deal. And I think searchers should really look at their role post-acquisition as the most important part. Like, just getting through the deal process obviously is important, but what is essential is operating the business. And it is an Ironman. It is very difficult, and it's been fascinating to learn just today from Federico about operations and cutting churning almost his entire workforce. Just fascinating. Overall, I really enjoyed the case, and I thought it was fantastic. Looking forward to doing more of them.